As you can see, there's still some really peculiar behavior by the fact if they get upset. And now they decided that this tree is the offending tree. That was happening in Alpha 19 as well. Welcome, Survivor! Back to 7 days to die, and now we're in Alpha 20, and this is going to be a base build video. Well, sort of at least a killing corridor. People were asking me, hey, Alpha 20 is out, does the killing corridor work? And this is my old booby base killing corridor that worked really well in Alpha 19. And unfortunately, it has some problems in Alpha 20. But what do we do if this doesn't work? And of course, you could have put half blocks and everything underneath, just that the booby box looks a little bit better, a bit more interesting, and a bit more fitting. Wouldn't you say, ladies? So I'm going to show you why it's not working and how we can actually make things work anyway. So if you enjoy my base builds, why not make sure that you hit that like button, that thumbs up, and maybe subscribe and ring the notification bell as we get started. Let me get up here to my base. Of course, we have a ladder here. It's very simple. We have basically just a ramp up, and then we have these half blocks, and then we have the boobies underneath. What they used to make it happen was that zombies would still see this as a pathable path. So they would try to walk over here, and of course there's nothing there, so they would fall down. And I thought, well, let's try that out. Does that really work in Alpha 20 as well? Because they have said that they haven't really changed much of the AI. So let's see what happens. Let's get them up here, and it actually sort of works. It's not perfect though, but it sort of actually works. You see, she's coming down there. Let's get a few more in here. Hello, ladies, come up here. It sort of works, as you can see. It's actually fairly nice. And you might be thinking, hey, you know, they are bashing there. Yes, it's true. It's unavoidable that some of them, you can notice that lady, she seems to perpetually be stuck, like she doesn't want to go anywhere. She wants to stand there and just bash. Let's see if we can shoot her. Is anyone else going to take her place? Yes. So that spot, for some reason, seems to be a spot where the ladies go, nope, I don't want to do it. But it's really simple. You could definitely still do it. I still don't think it's perfect because they get stuck fairly often. You can see they're trying to... Let's pause the AI here. The way you build this is really simple. You take these half blocks, and you see I've put them here, basically. That's all. Then you have these cap blocks, pillar 1 caps. I'm not going to spend a lot of time making them. I'm just going to show you. So you basically, and let me do copy rotation, you put it like that. And it does mean that they don't seem to see this as perfectly pathable, but they're trying to get on top of here. And as they're trying to get on top of here, they actually run out into the midair. And that's why you're seeing this really peculiar behavior. Let's restart it like that. And then they fall down. But some of them, like her, definitely don't want to do it. So I wouldn't say it's perfect. And some people say, hey, this is cheaty. Come on, this is really cheaty, even though it sort of does work. And so we're going to do something slightly different, something that is a little bit less cheaty, but seems to work a little bit better. See, they get stuck down here. So ladies, die. Okay, I've removed those offending boobies. Some people might not like them, but we're still keeping the ramp. We're going to do the diamond shape instead, because that one has always worked really well, simply because it's a little bit easier for the zombies to path across. So let me build this out. You see, basically I'm going to try to make a diamond shape kind of look here. Like that, and like so. And we're going to follow up with like on this side. You don't necessarily have to make it 3 wide. But it is recommended. What tends to happen otherwise, you'll see that we're going to make a couple tests, and I'll show you what I mean. And let's get in a feral girl here. They do path across these because these are really... Yeah. They're really good. They path across. Often, when you just leave it like that, they can actually start running on the side because they need a little bit of space before they fall in. You see here. Here she had no problem getting up. So we don't want to leave it uncovered here. We want to get them pushed into the middle. So let me put that. So what I started using was something like this. Let's go to advanced here and see if we can turn that out. So we're going to put them like this. What this basically means is that they try to path across here, and when they're here, they actually fall down there. But when they're here, they're trying to get to this one. But because this one is in the way, they get pushed out. And of course, you saw what happened. If I get pushed out, I can't run over. If I try to run on this side, I can do that. You know, I can get up, no problem. But if you stop blocking these ones off, and let me block off another one here. And a third. Oh, that's not the one. It should be so. Like so. If you try to run yourself, it gets really difficult because it's difficult to get the speed that allows you to stay there. You can actually, at least the zombies can, if they're really lucky. So let me do the same thing on both sides. And here on the front, I'm going to make one extra to try to push them out. It basically just tries to avoid them getting stuck here and bashing this. They might actually start bashing this one still, but again, it gives you extra time before they actually break anything that is vital, because the outer one is not vital. It's basically just to help push them out. So we're going to bring in one lady. Hello, lady. And let's see what happens. She runs up and jumps up and then runs down. You notice she didn't get stuck as easily. Let's bring in a few more. Maybe some more friends of hers. Hello, party girl. No more strippers, but we have party girls. Yep, they're coming up there, and she runs out. She runs out. Ah, and you see, she got stuck, but she got pushed from behind, and then she falls down. So they can still get stuck. It's something that seems to be unavoidable with a lot of these things when the pathing gets in place. That one you saw, just like the other one, they have some spots that they sort of like to get stuck on, but generally they're trying to run past here. And now because this one got a little bit occupied, they switched over a little bit here, but they do seem to favor one of the sides, and I'm not sure. And as you notice, sometimes they actually can get across, so you probably want to make sure that you have this one slightly longer. Not too long maybe, but you know, maybe having it, so I have 2, 4, 8, and you probably could go another maybe 2 or 4 to make that happen. And the more zombies you have, let me bring in another 12, 10. The more you have, you're going to see more of them jumping on top of each other, which is okay. If you're standing here fighting, which of course you generally should be doing actively anyway, this is a perfect place to just be standing, because you see most of the heads end up somewhere around the same place, right? This is a really good place to be just practicing those headshots, because most of the time, except for when they're jumping up, they will be coming in roughly the same spot. Of course, it depends on which zombie it is. If you're having, you know, a normal horde, they won't be the same, and the different zombies do have a slightly different height, and that of course matters, but at least their head's going to be roughly in the same location, which makes it a lot simpler to just get your headshot. So you saw, nothing actually got through here. Doesn't look good. Let me build up a little bit more to make it look a little bit prettier. Let me get the last headshot there. And the first part of the base has been completed. Well, actually, it's almost completed. What I've done, I've also given a slight lip here. This can help, even though it's not necessarily needed all the time. It does help for when they run up. Makes them more likely to stumble a bit and fall down, and that it doesn't remove it, but it can reduce their sort of affiliation for standing here and trying to bash. It does help a little bit when you're having a lot of zombies come in, because they like to run and then they fall down. And if they don't make it across, well, that's good, because we'll be standing here, and I put in some of the shutters. I like the new shutters. They look really good. Of course, you might not want to make sure you open... Oh! Yeah, don't open them at the same time, so you can actually shoot out. You can, of course, put them so they face the other way around, but that all really restricts your... You can see your viewpoint, because they'll be in the way, so I prefer to put them like that. That gives a little bit more view out on the side. These are really nice. They're available in wood, iron, and steel, so that's nice. And of course, we have a way in and out, and this should be good. I mean, the rest is pretty much all concrete. I haven't put in any steel. Once you get steel, you probably want to make sure you upgrade these initial, because they'll be taking damage. Zombies do attack. They have been increasing. Is that a wolf? Oh, maybe it's the dog. I think that's a dog. Oh, it's a dog horde. If I do this... No, it's a wolf horde. Oh, that's pretty cool. And they're coming for me. Actually, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted, but don't they look... Oh. Direwolf and the regular wolf. No wonder it looks so big. Oh, they've changed the coloring. I'm not really sure I like that. They used to be black, whereas the wolves were gray. Now they're basically exactly the same except bigger. That's a pity. That's a pity. Anyway, so you see, this is how it looks. I did a little bit of painting just to make it nicer. And we, of course, we have a way in and out. Pretty simple. You just open it, jump up, and then come in. And you jump in a little bit. And then you do like that. And you should be pretty safe here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to test this out. Let's do like so. We're going to first put in a bunch of party girls. And shoot. I'm going to enable it. Let's see what happens here. Oh, the wolves were probably trying to make their way in. See, they do stumble a little bit here. Ah, the wolf at least fell down. But some of them definitely do get stuck here. It's super difficult to avoid them getting stuck anywhere. And the more you have, the more they do seem to get stuck because there's just more of them that are getting in between and getting in each other's way. And I think it's tough. You just have to make sure that you start killing them. When you make this base even better, I'll probably make another video for that. You could imagine that because you know that they're going to be stuck on certain locations. If you know they're going to be stuck here, you could, for instance, have dart traps that are firing straight down and straight up to kill anything that is standing here. That would be a pretty good way of dealing with anything that is in the way. But for now, we're just going to do a little bit of a manual killing like that. And I'm going to start a Blood Moon Horde as well. Probably do a day 70 and then we'll see what happens. And the Blood Moon Horde is starting. Let's see where they're going to be coming in from. Oh, there they are. Coming from this side. They're coming as expected. You can see that every time they have to jump up, they slow down. So for them coming from this side, it's actually fairly slow. It's just one of those things. If you put rams in the ram corners, they would actually be faster. So they're coming in here. And they're running in. But as you can see, they do have a tendency to start bashing as they come in as well. Especially the one that is here. Cops are always going to be an issue. They definitely will be vomiting. Everyone else, hopefully, will have a tendency to jump down. But you notice, it does seem that in Alpha 20, they get stuck a little bit more. It's like they want to path, but at the same time, they don't really want to do it because they are... Maybe they've tweaked a little bit of the pathing and they don't see them as good a path as they used to. And that's why they tend to get stuck at the beginning. Once they get running, it's less of an issue. So what we want to do, we want to definitely stand here. There's no way for them to really get to you. I don't think they'll ever be able to get across. I've been doing this for quite a while when I was testing it out, and I can't get them to get across at all. They do get stuck over there. That is unavoidable. Some of them do get stuck over here. They tend to eventually fall down, especially as they come behind. But standing here is a pretty good way of just getting some headshots and some experience because they slow down. That ramp here that makes them fall down, even if they're not stacking up on each other, it just makes them stumble a little bit. So you give it a little bit more extra time before they start doing any fighting. And that gives you even more time to just, well, shoot them in the face. See, like him, he comes in, falls down, stumbling a little bit, fall down. Now I'm on pretty standard settings. I have 8 concurrent zombies. And you see, she did 1 bash, did 1, we have him. We're gonna see if we can shoot him. Interrupt him there from vomiting. Get a headshot there. Oh, he fell down before I could shoot him. This is a pretty efficient way to use your ammo because you know where they're going to be coming and you know that there's going to be multiple of one there. One improvement I would make here, I would probably make that corridor slightly longer so that when you're using armor-piercing ammo, you would be able to shoot through multiple. That would make even more efficient use of the ammo because you'd be able to penetrate through multiple zombies. But otherwise, this works really, really well. You could conceivably do this even with bow and arrows or crossbow because even at regular settings, I'm 8 concurrent zombies. You see they're fairly slow to come up here. And that's because of the design of they have to run around and up the ramp. Then they stumble. Stumbling takes a while to recover, and then restarting. And that loop is fairly long for a zombie, so it doesn't allow them to basically just keep running all the time. Even this small little stumble, again, just gives you that extra half second or something to get a headshot. And if you want to hide, you can just hide back here. Now I haven't actually blocked off here just to give a little bit of better sight lines while I'm making the video. You probably would want to do that if you want to be able to hide entirely. You basically block off so that you don't have openings here, because you could get a cop or something or vulture coming in, and once they see you from this distance they would actually be able to vomit at you, which just does unnecessary damage. Oh, some shooting down here. A nice little shooting gallery would be really effective as well. As you can see, there's still some really peculiar behavior by the fact if they get upset, and now they decided that this tree is the offending tree. That was happening in Alpha 19 as well, and I guess that's still happening here in Alpha 20. And you're still going to get someone coming in. So throughout a long horde, you see this one is now, we are an hour and a half in. This one has taken not even 500 damage. This one has taken about 1,000 damage. So this one could conceivably be taken out throughout the regular horde night. But that's why we have it double up, because even if this one is taken out, they would have to take out the bottom one or the one on top in order to get behind here to stand, and then that one was still blocked. You saw she managed to get over here, but then she fell down. So this is working well. A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage here, nothing that is critical for the base itself, and he decides to run off, and they're going to be doing this the whole night. If you had some traps, let's say you have a junk turret, if you have your junk sledge, maybe you have some jaw traps, you could make this even better to just kill more of the zombies, especially in the areas where they get stuck. And you see here I removed the ramp, and you'll see they tend to get stuck a little bit more on this side because there's a bit more space and they don't have that jump where they're falling off, and that makes it a little bit worse. It's not gonna, oh, I wonder if that was a cop. It makes it a little bit faster as they run. You see he's still standing there, which we don't want that specifically where we don't want them to be standing. So it's not necessarily an AFK base. I'm not going to claim it is. With the pathing, there might actually be other blocks. I mean, with all the blocks that we have now something like, let's get into here. We have something like not 5 total, 1,365 blocks. You can imagine there might be other blocks, some weird shapes. Let's say ramp. You can imagine some other really weird ramp shapes that maybe are slightly better than these regular ramps and forces them to path a little bit more efficiently. And I'm sure that's something that people will be experimenting with and coming up with, just which shape is the optimal when it comes to pathing and when it comes to the zombies just falling down. But this will work at least early on, and it'll keep you safe fairly long. I mean, on day 17 now, and you can see I'll definitely survive. Maybe this one gets taken out, a little bit of repairs, but nothing that is too bad. So how are you going to make your killing corridor? What's your preferred way in Alpha 20? Why not let me know in the comment section below? And of course, make sure you like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you again next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.